Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome to another BS podcast. It's Excel here today. I am sans Kyle because of Mother's Day. His parents are in town. So we'll be doing today's episode without Kyle, unfortunately. However, I do have an actual live JMod with us today, which I'm super excited about. Mod Timbo, his official title is Principal Game Designer for RuneScape 3 and Killer of Trees, as he's telling me. We'll get into that story later. But how are you doing today, Timbo?
Hello, yeah, I'm doing pretty good. How are you?
I'm doing a lot better, getting into the streaming stuff, trying to figure that out and get back more into OS3 content development. And I don't know, we'll see how it goes. I've got a lot to learn as far as streaming goes, but we'll get there. So my first question actually is about the kind of the content development for RuneScape now that the pandemic is going on in England and all across the world, honestly. But how has that slowed you guys down a lot? Are you struggling to put things out, or how has that kind of affected the company?
So I think to start off with, obviously, I think it was like a big change for everyone at the time.
Mm-hmm.
Like to go from in-house development to like sitting in your bedroom, like making RuneScape content. It was weird. Like I mean, I think it was like 13-year-old Timbo's dream, like making RuneScape content in my bedroom. But like it was, I think obviously it was a struggle to start with.
Mm-hmm.
It was for everyone, I think. I mean, like you think about March, April last year, it was a crazy time.
Right.
But it's been getting better over time. Like I think when we started, there was a lot of it was difficult to differentiate between work and play because obviously well, I mean, I do my work on my home PC.
Mm-hmm.
I know a lot of people at Jagex don't. They brought their work PC home.
Oh, okay.
But I work from my home PC because it's
A better
just
system.
simpler for me.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's that. So like obviously it's difficult to like the workday finishes somewhere between like 5 and 7 p.m.
Mm-hmm.
But it doesn't really finish because like your emails are still up, Slack is still up.
I know how that goes.
Yeah, you're still reading the RuneScape Reddit. You're still on Twitter. You're still blah
Yeah.
blah blah blah
You
blah.
get those 8 p.m. Slack messages, and you're like, oh, okay, yeah, I'll go push code. I've got the same problem with my jobs.
Yeah, or like for me, I refresh Reddit at like 10 p.m. because I'm just doing something else, and I'm like, oh yeah, I need to do that thing, and then write like a work job down, and it's like, yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean, like, all of that got resolved pretty quickly. I think, I think by the summer of last year, I think most people had a good routine, and like in terms of the team, were working really good, and we got like our practices down, like stand-ups and all that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think it was really good. I mean, for me in particular, we were right at the tail end of archaeology. So we launched archaeology the end of March, start of April, the new skill in RuneScape 3.
Mm-hmm.
And so for us, we were like gearing up, getting ready for this big skill launch, and then like suddenly the pandemic came. We were working from home, scrambling to get the skill together. But yeah, I mean, we did it, and then archaeology came out, and it was really good. Well, I think it was really good. And
I'm sure there were
yeah,
complaints.
it was
There's
a
always
big
complaints.
success.
That's great. How did that work for like teams like I can't imagine what like the sound department and things like that where they have like equipment in like Jagex itself. Did they just take all that equipment home with them and just start trying to do that from home, or how did that even work? Did you sneak people in the
I don't
office or?
know. So like no one was allowed in the office for a
Mhm.
long time. If you needed certain equipment, I know that you could get it brought to your house.
Oh, really? But they have like liquidators
Um,
that would go in and like pull stuff out of the office and then deliver it to you, so you didn't have to go in there.
yeah, I think something like that. Yeah, um, yeah, the IT department were like the only ones allowed in because
Mhm.
they had to like set up certain systems, and obviously Jagex is we have like closed systems inside the company to make sure nothing gets leaked.
Right.
That will have to get like carefully managed so that we could access it all from home.
Mhm.
But I know, but like so some people got their some people got their work PCs and like monitors and things brought home so they could work from home with their actual work machine, and some specialized equipment like graphics tablets and I think some audio equipment like whatever they use, synthesizers and all that sort of stuff.
Wow.
Was they're all at people's houses, I think.
Mhm.
I'm not 100% sure.
That's gonna be. I would imagine that's just so risky though to, or at least a big challenge for the IT department to get everything set up so you're not like just leaking company secrets left and right, and then getting everybody so that they can
Yeah,
function from.
yeah. It was a big effort that the team did, and props to them because it was really really good.
Oh yeah, definitely. So I want to go back in time because you've been at the company. You told me 13 years. So how exactly did you get started with Jagex? How did that go? That initial job like description and such like that. How did you get started?
So actually, 13 years ago, I was at university, and I was doing like a sandwich degree. They're called in the UK. I'm not sure if they're called that anywhere else.
Mhm.
But I was doing a sandwich degree in computer science, where you did 2 years like studying and stuff and doing your degree, and then you did 1 year out in industry and an irrelevant like work experience
Uh-huh.
for whatever you were studying. So I was studying computer science, so I was just like kind of do some sort of computing job for a year, and then you go back and and then you go back for a year and then finish your degree.
Mhm. That's
And
actually great. Yeah.
while I was at university, Jagex came to my university, and this was what 2008, no 2007. This must have been like late 2007, early 2008. And I wasn't playing RuneScape at the time, but I had played RuneScape from 2001 to
Oh, old
2005
schooler.
ish.
Look at you.
Oh yeah, one of my claims to fame is that I was one of the first RuneScape members on RuneScape.
Oh, wow.
So I was one of the very first members in February
Member number
2002. Was that?
6.
It's crazy low. Like I was one of the very very first members. But so yeah, I hadn't played RuneScape for ages. I hadn't played RuneScape for like 2 or 3 years at this point. Um, and I was like, oh yeah, I remember Jagex. Like I remember playing that as a kid. Like I remember when I was literally 13 years old or 14 years old. Like playing that at lunchtimes at school, like with my mates, and everyone's got their own childhood RuneScape stories.
Oh, yeah.
But I was like, oh yeah, I remember Jagex. So like, I immediately was like, man, like they're the only gaming company that's came to my university. Like, I want to be a game developer, game programmer, game designer. So I was like, oh man, that's the perfect fit. Like, I want to go work at Jagex. So I applied for a position. It was initially in customer support.
Mhm. I think that's where a lot of
For
people start as customer support, and then they get pulled in. We had
yeah,
Mod
yeah.
Finord on, same thing. He started in customer support and moved on to bigger and better things too.
Yeah, so like yeah, I applied for customer support. There was a rigorous university graduate like interview process for a whole day, and I got accepted after that. And then yeah, I was like, yeah, I'm at Jagex. Started working there like July 2008. I was in customer support for 4 weeks, and then moved on to community management. There was a job going, and I applied like with other regular staff, and I got the job
All right.
because I knew the game and I was like into that sort of stuff. So
Mhm.
yeah, I joined CM community manager in 2008. I was primarily in the like forum team, so I looked after F mods and posted on the forums a lot.
You babysitted the player mods or?
Yeah, the forum mods. Yeah, not the player mods,
Oh,
the
okay,
forum
right,
mods.
yeah,
Yeah,
four mods. Yeah, okay.
yeah. With loads of old names now that I can't remember, like Poppy and MMH
Oh
and
yeah.
um, Emily, John H. Man, there's a lot of old names there.
Yeah.
Um, and yeah, I worked on the forum team, and it came to the end of my sandwich year because I was supposed to go back to university. And Jagex turned around and they were like, "Hey, dude, you're awesome. Like, can you just stay? Like, we'll offer you a full-time job if you don't want to go back to university." So
Oh, really? Wow.
I was like, it was quite a rare thing, I think. I mean, I don't want to say I was the first person, but it's quite a rare thing to get offered a job.
Mhm.
And I was just like, the whole point of me getting a degree was to go
Get a
into
job.
to get a job and go
Yeah.
to the games industry. So I was like, if I'm in CM, it's a really cool position, it's a really cool job. I'm at Jagex, which is awesome. So I just accepted and stayed working at Jagex.
So do you not actually have a college degree?
No, I
Uh,
have whatever 2 years worth of degree is called. It's not a bachelor. It's like a high degree or something. It's called. There's a proper qualification name for it, but it's not a proper
oh,
university degree.
there- we just call that college dropout. But I mean, that puts you in such company as like Bill Gates and Steve Jobs and stuff like that. So that's usually something to aspire to in the U.S. But
Oh yeah, I
that's
mean,
amazing.
I think it annoyed me when I was much younger. Like I was what 20 years old at the time. I'm like 33 now, so I'm much older.
Yeah.
But like I think it annoyed me at the time that I was the first person in my family to go to university as well.
Mhm.
So like it felt like a bit of a disappointment that I dropped out. But I mean like,
But you got the
and now
job,
I
so
have
that's all that really matters.
I have the job. I've got 13 years in the game industry now, which is huge.
Yeah.
That's like to have that much experience at my age as well is very good.
Mhm.
Um,
Yeah, and that's really what counts. And I honestly like for those that are in college, like by all means, like finish your degree if you can. But like if you get 2 years of job experience doing whatever, then like people don't even look at your college degree anymore. They're just like, oh, you got 2 years of experience. That's great. We'll bring you in for an interview, and they don't really care that you have a degree. So that's great, especially if
well,
you
that's the
got like
thing.
13 years. You're fine. You can get a job anywhere.
Yeah, that's the thing now. Now that I'm in a position at Jagex where I am interviewing candidates, like
Yeah.
in such a, and I'm like degrees are nice, but like I've interviewed numerous candidates with and without degrees, and
Mhm.
it's never been a like a deciding factor for me.
Yeah.
It's always been their knowledge and their experience and what they would bring to the team rather than do they have a degree or not. It's not
Exactly. Yeah. I think that
so
the degree only really opens the door, and then once you've got that job experience, it's like it doesn't really matter. People just want experience and people that have great attitudes. So that's an amazing story.
yeah.
So what else do you remember those community management years? I know Poppy had all kinds of stories, some that she can't even say on stream, but what were those days like?
I don't know. It's mixed up in my in my youth as well. Because I said I was like 20 years old, so I was going out like and getting drunk all the time. Um, but in terms of I remember I don't really know many stories to be honest.
I don't know. You probably can't remember off the cuff on the spot. I put you on the spot.
No, yeah. Um,
Well, you went to a couple of the Rune Fest, did you? Because I remember meeting up with you there at least once, maybe twice.
yeah, I've been to every Runefest.
Okay, so every
Which
single one.
is quite cool. Yeah, yeah. Even with the one in the wine cellars, in I can't remember what it's called now. 2010 was that? 2011.
2010 does 11. Is that the
That
one
was
I went to? I know there was. I feel like one was in a wine cellar, and I can't remember what the name. Like the very first one was
yeah,
that the one that was in the wine cellar?
yeah. It was in the wine cellars.
Okay,
Yeah,
okay. It was above ground. When I think of wine cellar, I think of like underground. But yeah, I do remember that one.
yeah. Man, oh man, Runefest is so cool. Runefest has been such a kick-ass
What is that like for the
experience.
JMod side? Because I know like as a player, I'm like, well, I guess I was doing some stuff where I was running around, I was doing a few like talks or like helping people out with a few things, but like you for the most part, you get to just run around and do whatever and hang out with people. What's that like from the JMod side where you actually have to work the thing?
Um, the work side is really like there's a lot of work to do, and it doesn't matter what position you are, you're expected to do heavy lifting and clean up and all that sort of jazz. So it's really tiring because we end up being there depending on what you do. You end up so you're either there like 2 or 3 nights ahead of time if you're on the main stage, or if you are not on the main stage, you go like the night before to help set up.
Do they just bust you all
Um,
down in a caravan or do they expect you to just get there on your own?
Yeah, they literally just bust you down.
Oh, nice.
You can get there on you can go in your own car if you want, but if not, there's buses put on, and one night hotel stays put up as well.
Oh, there you go.
The fun fact I'm not sure everyone knows is that when Runefest finishes on the last night, most of the J mods, I'd say that 80-90% get on a bus at like midnight or 1 a.m.
No.
Then and I'd have the 1.5 to 2 hour bus journey back to Cambridge.
Oh my gosh, yeah. They were at
And we're
least
just
nice enough
zombies.
to like keep us up in a hotel for an extra night so that we could sleep off all the booze that we drank the night before. I can't imagine that for just shoveling you on a bus. Well, I don't know about the JMUs. I just know all the players had done extensive amounts of drinking the night before, and then at least
Yeah,
got to sleep it off in the airport or the night before in a hotel before going to the airport. So
yeah. So,
the
but
brutal
yeah,
life of a JMUd.
we end up being we get dumped. I'd say dumped, but we get taken to the to Jagex HQ at like 2 in the morning.
Oh man,
I'm just so tired. I get a taxi or something. And,
yeah.
like I only live like 10 minutes away or something, but I'm just like, I'm so dead. But yeah, I mean, so RuneFest in general is incredible. Like it's like maybe it's just because I'm well known in the community, but like it just you just end up feeling like a Hollywood movie star for like a day
Yeah.
because there's so many people that say, hey, because you have your name on your back, obviously
Oh,
as a
right,
J
right,
mod,
right. Yeah, you got the
you have your
t-shirts.
mod
That's right.
name.
Yeah. I forgot about that.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So you have your name on your back, and people just like, "Oh my god, hey Mod Timbo, can I talk to you about this?" And like whatever they want to talk to you about, and it's like, so you just like you stand there and you talk to whoever it is in front of you, and they're awesome because they're so passionate and excited to meet you for the first time, but also like talk about RuneScape and like and it's just amazing.
What were most of
Sorry.
the questions usually regarding?
So I'm like head of balancing in RuneScape 3 and have been for like 6 years,
Mhm.
7 years. Uh, and obviously, I kill a lot of trees, so I get a lot of questions about that as well. Um, or I've been involved in certain designs like the luck rework and archaeology and like some big headline update that's been going. I've been talked about recently, so people want to come talk to me about that. But a lot of it is balancing. A lot of it was clans back when I was in community management times because I was head of clans. Um, or some people just want to talk about generic RuneScape. They're like, "Hey, I've got this idea. Do you want to listen to it?" And I'm like, "Yeah, of course I do." And
People pitch
we'll
your
just
quest
chat
ideas
about
to you.
yeah, exactly. Or they'll just chat about, "Hey, have you ever made tweaks to this thing? Like I don't know, some drop or some weapon or some armor or some monster drop table, um, and we have notepads and people give us things and just write things down and like we take them back and we genuinely look over them when we're less tired for the next week.
You wake up
And
with fluid.
I've yeah, but like tons and tons of like particularly ninja fixes and like ideas and seeds of thoughts and stuff have come from RuneFests. We talk about it a lot. Um, we talk about it a lot as a company. We get recharged and refreshed by going to RuneFest.
Mhm.
But like it is genuinely like that. Like I am like aside from the physical tiredness, like when we go back to work on the Tuesday or the Wednesday that week, like um,
You've got a
you just feel so full of energy because like I mean, you've just been surrounded by literally hundreds of people who love RuneScape so much that they've flown in from like God knows where in the world. They've paid money to get in. They've watched all your booths. They've talked to you. They've bought merchandise. I mean, like, these are like you're just surrounded by the community, and like you can really feel the diversity and like the passion from players. Like even like talking to you, attending panels. Like it's just you just like if there was like a battery meter for I don't know, kind of like confidence or passion or like just like wanting to work and make RuneScape a better game, like it just gets filled up. Like you just slowly fill up over RuneFest, and then you're just raring to go when you get back to work.
oh yeah, I can imagine. Yeah.
Um, it's incredible. It really really is incredible.
Yeah, I know I enjoyed going when I went to RuneFest. I got to talk to like Mark Gerhardt and just like, and that was he would come to us really and just be like, "What do you guys want from the game? What can make it better?" And I spilled out all kinds of ideas. A lot of them actually made it into the game. I don't know if it was my idea specifically, but like I remember specifically one of the times I went there and said like about the chat. It's like it would be really helpful like if you had like the chat in different colors so I could tell if it was coming from like the Was it the chat and the color, or was it the fact like you can type? So like if you're in a clan chat versus the general chat, you can type a slash so you can specify which one to go to rather than having to flip the tabs. I can't remember one of those I had suggested, and whoever I talked to at the time, like to looked at the guy next to him, was like, "We could do that like right now, can't we?" And they're like, "Yeah, I think so." And like the next day, it was in. So it was. I don't know if that was the actual turnaround or if they already had that in the planning and it just happened to go in the next day. But it's great that you guys are that willing to listen to the players and implement those changes.
Yeah, I mean, I think some people will listen to this and don't think we've done like we haven't always been amazing at implementing changes.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not going to deny that, but I think RuneFest started to make that change, and a lot more of the community voice is in RuneScape right now, especially RuneScape 3, where I mean, obviously old school has player polls and tons of player suggestions have made it into the game. You're seeing a lot more of that in RuneScape 3 as well with the ninja fixes and like listening to community and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So I think last year was a really good year for everyone, and like we're in a really good position.
That's great. So, when did you get out of the community management role and move into the bigger and better roles?
What did I get out of it? Like I think for me, like I have the community in mind whenever I'm designing content.
Of
Like I
course, yeah.
think, like I mean, like it might sound obvious. I think, like if you're designing content for the game, you would have the community in mind. But like I think having a deeper understanding of that community by being immersed in them all the time, because I was on the forums all the time. I was reading Reddit. I was reading like fan sites. I was reading RuneHQ and Zybez and what's the other one that I've completely missed
Tippet.
that someone's going to
Tippet.
tip it? That's the one
Yeah.
that someone will shout me about. Like I was reading these things and I was like, I like was literally like trying to embody the voice of the player all the time. So I think like that is something that has stuck with me since my community management days. Like always like trying to think of things from a player point of view. Always like trying to like it's such a horrible corporate term, but like like have the pulse of the player always in mind. Like I'm always reading, I'm always understanding. I'm playing the game still a lot. Um, I'm trying to like keep up with my clan and what they're complaining about, because normally that's like a very good that's normally a very good indicator of what's going on in the community
It's a
if
good
my
pulse of
clan are complaining
RuneScape
about it.
there. Yeah.
Yeah. But, you know what I mean? Like I think that has been something that I've never stopped doing in terms of RuneScape instead of community management stuff. Like I haven't stopped reading the forums. I haven't stopped reading Reddit and fan sites and Twitter and all this like tons and tons and Twitch and tons of other like places like that's just basically like a lot of my day. Like a lot of my time and a lot of my spare time is reading and understanding and playing and that sort of thing.
Mhm.
So like that's been a huge part of for me, like going from community management to content development. Because like all our content developers and all our designers, they read they read a lot of stuff, and a lot of the players themselves, and we have a lot of comp and trim comp staff in the works in the RuneScape development team as well. But yeah, I think me just like I'm always on the like it sounds horrible to say, but I'm always on the cutting edge of what players are thinking and doing and saying, and trying to bring that voice to design and development.
Mhm. Has there ever been an idea from a player that you heard of and you're like, man, that would be great, but then it couldn't happen for one reason or another?
Um, yeah, I'm struggling to think of anything in particular. I think there's a lot of suggestions that I don't think I'll name any names because that would be bad. But there's a lot of suggestions that players say that sound like common sense suggestions and suggestions that are widely known in the community, but we can't do for one reason or another.
Mhm.
Um, like I don't want to name any projects, but there's been tons over the years that have been like, "Hey, Jaggers, why haven't you done this?" And I'm like, "Well, we would do this, but if it wasn't for X, Y, and Z."
Yeah.
So like, I think there are a lot of it's funny. I know that's a different anecdote I'll tell you later. But like that like players tell us a lot of suggestions that we already know and we already thought about and we already would love to implement if it wasn't for hey, this is actually a lot of development work, so we're not going to do it, or there's a lot of technical debt, or hey, we're doing that, but that's not in the plan right now, even though you think it's super important. Like, we're not doing it right now. We're going to do it in 3, 6, 9, 12 months time.
This is
Like,
actually illegal in the United Kingdom. We can't do this.
yeah, maybe stuff like that as well. I think as a creative, I guess, professionally and personally, like, there is no such thing as bad ideas. And like one of the secrets to being a good designer, for me, is not taking what the player says wholesale,
Mhm.
understanding why they're asking the question, and then trying to solve that problem.
Yeah, exactly.
So if someone says, "Hey Timbo, this Slayer task sucks drop wise. Like, what? Like, can you improve the drop tables of this monster?" And you go, no, it's actually fine, but like it's actually doing all right, and like a lot of people are doing the Slayer task. Like, it's got 80% completion or something, and like the money is still like a good GP an hour for what it is. So like, what is the problem? So the problem could be, hey, I don't have good enough gear, or I'm like the sort of player that's very casual. I can't kill these monsters as fast as everyone else. Can you solve that problem? Um, or actually, like, the mobs are like a little bit too difficult. They have too many mechanics on, or like, hey, I can't dodge these glacial attacks or whatever. Like, so like, it's looking at those. It's looking at like player problems in that view. Like, and then try to solve them that way rather than
Yeah.
solving. Like, it does happen. Like, there are a lot of good players in the community. Like, I mean, I'm a player in other games communities, right? And I'm just a voice in a sea of feedback. And
Exactly.
just
Yep.
because I'm a principal game designer for one game
Doesn't mean
doesn't
you
mean
have a
my voice
voice
is
in
any.
other.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, or even that will be listened to. Some other game designer in another company would be like, this Timbo guy, he said this idea, but I don't think that's what he really wants. And it's
Yeah.
like, so that sort of happens as well.
Yeah.
I'm just sort of rambling now.
Oh no, it's
But
fine.
yeah.
I love the ramblers because that makes my job so much easier just to hear what's on your mind, what you're thinking, and I don't have to ask questions because people don't care to hear me talk. They just tune in to watch me make a fool of myself and listen to what everybody else has to say.
Fair
That's
enough.
great that you're sharing your stories. Now, speaking of stories, I gotta hear about your story of the remover of trees because apparently you're known as your official title is principal game designer for RuneScape 3 remover of trees. So I need to hear about this remover of trees bit. How did that come about?
Yeah, the killer of trees. So like, so yeah, back in the CM days, I think a game update went out. It wasn't particularly exciting. It was just a bunch of patch fixes and that sort of thing. But like, down in Unil, there's the hard clue scroll spot where you have to
Mhm.
dig behind a tree.
Right.
The tree was removed like out of the blue. I think there was a bug fix to fix the coordinates of the dig spot,
Mhm.
but in the process of doing it, the tree got removed.
Oh no.
Um, so like, so in the game update thread back in recent updates in the forums, like, players were like, "Hey, thanks Jagex for the update, but the tree's gone." And
It's
there's a lot.
amazing
They
if
were like, "The
people would
tree."
notice that.
Yeah, it's like, hey, the tree's gone. Why is the tree gone? Why is the tree gone? Why is the tree gone? So Mod Emily, because she was in charge of recent updates at the time, she blamed it on me. She was like, "Hey, Mod Timbo hates trees."
Throws you under the
So
bus. It's Timbo's fault.
yeah, yeah. So hey, Mod Timbo hates trees, so he's got rid of it. Uh, like, he didn't like it anymore. When he was fixing the bug, he got rid of the tree. I didn't even fix the bug, but it was just like a play on words. And I remember she rolled around my desk, when she posted it, and she was like, "Hey, I said this about you. Are you okay?" I was like, "Yeah, of course I am." So I went into the thread and wholeheartedly threw myself into this role playing of destroying trees, and that you never get it back and all this sort of stuff. So me and Mod Emily were doing that on the forums, and I think like a week or two later, the JMod in charge of uploading content for the game, Mod Easty, he's still there. He's still head of uploading content for RuneScape 3 now. Um, he snuck in a dead tree to replace the tree spot, and he added a unique examine to the tree that says, "Never let Mod Timbo near a thing of beauty."
That's great. Is that still
So
there in
when
RuneScape 3, or did they take that out?
yeah, it's still there right now.
Oh, there you
Yeah.
go.
So
That's your highlight for your the pinnacle of your JMod career. You
yeah,
got a
exactly.
tree with an
I have my
examine on
name.
it.
Yeah, my name's permanently in RuneScape. It was amazing. This
That's
is
a
like
life goal for a lot.
2009,
Yeah.
2010. Yeah, it was incredible. And yeah, so yes, southeast Neil, south of the bank. There's the tree behind the smithy, and it's got the Timbo thing on it. And like when players saw it, they were howling, they were laughing, they were like, "This is really funny!" Like, can't believe you've done this, because the tree's back, but also it's a dead tree now instead of a normal tree. And so that was like a nice ongoing joke where I just kill trees every now and again.
Have you killed any more
But
since then?
yeah, so yeah,
So you're
we
a
killed
serial
more.
tree killer. Oh my
Yeah. So
gosh.
like there was a tree south of Grand Exchange next to the West Bank, the West Bank,
Oh,
and
I'm
that
standing
tree
right
got
here.
removed as well.
Which one? I'm standing right here.
It's right on the I haven't got your stream up, but it's like next to the path, next to the not the Roman Juliet house. That house, yeah, Roman Juliet
Oh,
house.
the Romeo and Juliet house. Oh, okay. So the
Yeah,
house that's up here. So it's is it in old
it's
school
like
RuneScape, or is it just in RS3?
yeah, it should be. Yeah.
Oh, I
Oh well,
see. The tree
the
stump,
yeah.
or is it just
Oh
nothing now?
no. It's in RuneScape 3. It's a tree that's been added back
Mhm.
with the story behind it.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, so like that tree got removed in another like bug fix. Basically, uh, we remove scenery and then re-add it back when there's a problem with the map. Mostly commonly with clue scrolls and stuff as well.
Mhm.
But like so they were like, the tree's gone, and like immediately the community this time blamed it on me.
It must be Timbo. He's at it again.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, whenever a tree goes missing, it's my fault. But this time we played with it, and I think the next week Mod Easty added like a tree sapling in its place,
Oh.
and it was surrounded by like a fence with a rock guard next to it,
Oh man.
and like like the rock guard like Timbo struck again, and we're replanting the tree. And we're guarding it from Timbo. That's why there's a fence around it. And then over the next couple of weeks in the updates, the tree grew like it would, like if you were growing a regular tree in a farming patch, till it was finally complete. But I think it still has a fence around it in RuneScape.
Oh
Oh
wow.
no, it might not do. It might not anymore.
Yeah, I'm not seeing
But
it in
yeah,
OS or old school,
no,
but
yeah,
yeah.
yeah. In RuneScape 3, it might still have a fence around it, but I'm not really
Oh, that's
sure.
funny.
But it did for a long time. But yeah, and I've threatened to kill a whole number of trees in the past. Normally they're like people are like, hey, this tree gets in my way when I'm surging or moving from A to B, and they're like, hey Timbo, can you do this? And I was like, yep.
You
I
need
could
a
pass that along.
lumberjack, call Timbo. The tree's in your way.
Yeah,
It's too hard to run through the path between the bank and your mining spot. Call Timbo. He'll get those trees removed. Timbo tree
yeah,
removing
exactly.
service.
Yeah. And like we had a thing called TAP where we would work on personal projects
Mhm.
on RuneScape 3, and I was working on a Timbo quest relating to like killing trees. So you would like when you were chopping trees, you would randomly find an amulet of tree speaking, and then with that amulet of tree speaking, you could talk to trees. And of course, the only tree in the game that is kind of unique, other than like spirit trees, was
Yep.
the Timbo tree. So if you're wearing the amulet and you're talking to the Timbo tree, it would start a mini quest
Oh wow.
to find out about Timbo and why he's chopping all the trees down around the world. But it never made it into RuneScape 3, but it's
Oh
somewhere.
no.
I've got it somewhere backed up.
That's
To
funny. That
ever
should be
bring out, which would
a
be cool.
holiday event or something, like an Arbor Day holiday event. I don't know if you have Arbor Day
Yeah.
over in England or not, or Earth Day. It'd be an Earth Day event.
Oh, we have Earth Day. Yeah. That was recently. Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. We'd have to wait another year to put that one in. But that's my suggestions. If you're listening to new suggestions, I think that quest should be an Earth Day event. You can file a ticket in Jira for that one and get it in the game next year. So would you say that's
Yeah.
like kind of the highlight of your Jagex career? If you had to like point to one like thing that you're like most proud of or that people most know you for, is there anything other than that comes to mind?
what they most know me for, 100% it would be trees. Yeah. In terms of like what I'm most proud of, I think there are a couple of updates that I'm proud of. That's not the Mod Timbo tree. It would be, I think I'm really proud of archaeology. So that released last year. Like in terms of players playing it, and like what I felt from the community and the feedback it got, and like obviously we have all the stats in house, and it was a very well played skill. Like I'm really proud of how it turned out. Like releasing a new skill on a 20-year-old game sounds like madness on paper. And it was widely received, very widely popular, and I'm super happy with that.
Mhm.
So I think that's, I mean, like it's so cliche for like some guest on a talk show to say, "Hey, the latest thing that I did was the thing I'm most proud of."
Free plug.
Yeah, like, "Hey, Tom Hanks, what are you most proud of?" Well, I'm very proud of this movie I'm promoting right now, and it's like, "Oh yeah, sure."
Yeah, right.
I mean, other than that, like, I think Clan Citadels, when they, because I wasn't developing or designing them, but I was like the clan representation on the CM team.
Mhm.
And I mean, I don't, we never made exactly what clans wanted, but I think making the clan system, making the citadels and stuff, like the involvement that I had a positive impact on the game development, and I'm really proud of that as well. I mean, like Clan Citadels in RuneScape 3 right now are in a bit of a shambles, but at the time it was very good, and I think it was I was super proud of my involvement in that.
Mhm. So,
And then
go ahead.
yeah, no, sorry, that's it.
No, I don't want. Okay, I don't want to cut you off because I love hearing what you're saying. So I don't want to. Want to ask this in a nice way. Actually,
That's
the
fine.
easiest way to say it is like if you could go back 10 years, or actually you started what 13 years ago. So if you can go back on the first day that you started Jagex, what advice would you give yourself going forward?
Oh wow. Don't be so nervous. I guess. That's a stupid thing, but like, I mean, because I was a RuneScape player, right? So I loved, I remember meeting Andrew Gow for the first time was super nervous for me.
You didn't like fangirl
Um,
scream or anything like that. Ah, Andrew.
no,
Okay.
meeting like Marco and Mod Ash and Mod John A, like people who made like signature quests that I loved, like Richard the Marjrat was around the time that I joined, like
Mhm.
2008, 2009, and that quest was incredible. Like it was such a good quest. So like talking to Paul Gower, and like some of the other devs that worked in it, Chris L and that sort of stuff. Like you're meeting people who like um played the game and that sort of thing, and that was really awesome, and like it was a bit nerve wracking, like interacting and working with them for the first time, but you get over it eventually.
Yeah. I'm
I
thinking.
mean, what else would I tell myself? I think 20-year-old Timbo would be super surprised that I'm still at Jagex.
Were you expecting it to be elsewhere by now, or?
No, but like I know it sounds bad when you say it out loud, but like
Mhm.
I don't think you expect to be anywhere for 13 years,
That's
right?
true. Yeah.
Like I can't imagine, like there's so many different jobs out there, you move around a lot, and the games industry has quite a high turnover
Yeah. Yeah. That's very
of
true. Yeah. That it seems like they
people.
just lay people off left and right, or if the game's kind of the life of the game is done, and then they move on to something else, or they just lay everybody off and or move you to or you get bought out by somebody. That's kind of the life of a game producer. But yeah,
Yeah.
13 years with the same company is pretty big. I remember I applied for my current job after I got laid off, and they were shocked that I had been at the same company for 15 years. They're like, "Oh my gosh, that's almost unheard of. You've been with the same company for like 15 years." But it's
Yeah.
it's good though.
Oh yeah. I mean, yeah. I'm super happy about that, but I think he'd be very surprised.
Mhm.
Um, and I think we touched about it earlier, but like not having a degree is not going to impact my career.
Yeah. Well, at this point, you're
Um,
fine. Yeah, you're golden. You're pretty much a senior expert on anything that you do.
yeah, but like I mean, I joined Jagex at a customer support level, and then went to CM, and even then it wasn't massively, like I was like a junior CM or something.
Mhm.
So like like job security and career progression, like obviously doesn't feel very good. But the way that Jagex is, and with my expertise and stuff, I managed to make my way up to principal designer, which is crazy.
Mhm. So what do you find is like the biggest challenge working for Jagex now?
I think the ongoing challenge that I've had in 13 years is making the players happy.
I can.
I think like
That's hey, you get the
yeah
same thing with content development. It's making YouTube videos. It's always trying to keep people happy. It's nobody
yeah
is ever happy with anything you do, and you just almost have to filter that out and just make what you want to make and hope it works for everybody.
yeah. But like that's the ongoing, that's the perpetual problem, not problem, but you know what I mean. Like it's the perpetual
Challenge.
thing, challenge always going on in your mind is,
Hmm.
will the players like this? Do the players want this? Are they going to be happy?
Hmm.
That's the question always going through every single content developer, designer, QA, audio artist. Like they're like, I know it's more for some than others, but and it's certainly a lot for me is just constantly. I don't want to sound this. I don't make this like a negative thing. Like this isn't meant as negative as it's going to sound, but like I'm constantly worried and anxious and hopeful that players are going to like what I put out there, and if they don't, it has a huge impact on my mood and
Yeah.
my and like obviously like I learn why they didn't enjoy that. It's like, oh, it wasn't good enough, or it wasn't rewarding enough, or the rewards sucked, or you put it in a spot where it doesn't make any sense. Like it's a level 70 woodcutting method, and we've already got loads of woodcutting methods around the area. Blah 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 blah.
Right.
Like learning from them is super important to make sure the next update is going to make players happy.
Hmm.
And like it's a constant evolving, ongoing process where I don't want to say after 13 years every update I produce I make everyone happy,
That would be impossible.
but I'm definitely in a much better place now than I was, because I've made some terrible content in the past,
Hmm.
and or really misjudged what players wanted, or never understood the proper problem that they wanted, or never fixed the problem with a real solution.
Hmm.
And I obviously like I have imposter syndrome a lot, but I'm in the position I am in now as principal designer because I impart that knowledge to other people and can give that feedback to less senior designers and developers in the company.
Hmm.
Um, uh, yeah, like I think I'm never going to make 100% of all players happy with every update I produce. That's the dream, but I'm I'm edging ever closer to that 100% number.
That
Um,
99.9 that you're going
yeah,
for.
yeah. I'd say with archaeology, I'd say we'd made 85% of people happy, which I think is actually a very, 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 very high number.
Mhm.
Um, there's so many different player types and player ethoses and mindsets and gameplay styles that you're never going to please everyone.
Mhm.
But above 80%, I think is incredibly good.
Mhm. So to that point, say I gave you your own gaming company. You're Andrew Gower. Not that I'm suggesting to Jagex that you're going to do this, but you got your own company. You can make a game however you want. What kind of game would you want to build, and what would be like kind of in that game? How would it work?
Like a RuneScape game or
Or
just a game in
any
general?
game at all. If you want to make Tetris, you're free to make Tetris 2.0. But what kind of game would you want to build?
Man,
It could be RuneScape 4.0. I don't want to like stump you with a question, but I mean, I'm giving you the freedom to like create whatever game. You don't have to program it. I'm not expecting you to turn this out by June, but I'm just curious if you had the opportunity, what kind of game would you want to make?
there's two games. There's a RuneScape game and a non RuneScape game I'd make.
Hmm.
I mean, the non RuneScape game could fit as a RuneScape game, to be honest. But like, I'm a really big fan of 4X strategy games.
Oh,
So
okay.
I play a lot of Paradox games like Stellaris,
Oh, yeah, I got
Hearts of
Solaris.
Iron, Crusader Kings 3. I'm
Ah,
forgetting
there we
what
go.
else.
Yeah, we got to talk
Like
about that. Yeah, I actually did a live
like
stream a few weeks ago on Crusader Kings 3. I made a character called Gandrew Hour and started like making the RuneScape kingdom. I was like trying to take over the
nice.
England thing. So yeah, That's what I do when I'm not streaming this. Is I'm playing that and then giving out titles to my mods. So that's funny. But go ahead.
Yeah, I would love to make a super involved strategy game like that. I mean,
Oh well.
I don't know what it would be on, but like I love the intricacies and the systems that are built into particularly Paradox games, but like any 4X game. So like Civilization and
Oh yeah, that's another
the
favorite of mine.
Tropico games, or
You're speaking my language, man. I love all those games.
the last Anno 1800, was it?
Oh yeah, I
I can't
haven't got that
remember.
one. I should look into that one. How is that one? Is that pretty good?
Yeah, it's actually pretty good. Yeah, like it's got a lot of DLC, but it's good.
Hmm.
Uh, like so, yeah, I'd love to play like one of those super. Like, did you ever play Civ 4 Colonization?
Oh yeah,
That
I've played every single Civ game that existed.
like Colonization like blew my mind when I played it, because it's it seems so simple on the surface, but it's very very complicated, and I like the intricate ways you have to make certain things and recruit
Yeah,
certain guys, and the way that the systems work with the Indians and other rival other rival explorers and stuff. It was really really cool. Sorry, I should say Native Americans
hmm,
rather than Indians. I loved all that systems, and like, so like, yeah, I think colonization sort of got me on that path, and then all these other forest games, that would be incredible. And in terms of a RuneScape game, I would love to make a RuneScape single player game. I would love to make a game based on the God Wars. You're talking like the end of the Second Age, start of the Third Age. You've got gods stomping around the world. You've got armies just battling each other all the time.
so like a
Zaros is
prequel,
that.
RuneScape prequel.
Yeah, exactly. Like, you got Zaros at the height of his power. Everyone's battling Zaros, and all the gods are there. Saradomin, Zamorak, um, Guthix, and Armadil, and like, yeah, I would love to make a game where there's just like all these battles going on. You can imagine it be like a Shadow of Mordor type game where you're a hero going around sorting things out with different factions, or it's a God of War type game, or it's a maybe it's like um, not like an Assassin's Creed type game, but
Right.
not Assassin's Creed. You know, like a Ubisoft like uh, open world game, where you're just going around doing things for certain factions, or it could be even like The Witcher. Like,
Hmm. Oh yeah,
you're
there's a good
like you're like
example.
a you yeah you're a
Oblivion, something
mercenary
like
going
that.
around.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're a mercenary going around doing things for different factions. You can align with them if you want to or not, or like, and like I would love to make that game.
So would you want like the same engine that RuneScape's on, or would you want to have it kind of like a third person? Well, I guess this is third person, but more of like a up close type of over the shoulder type thing, or first person player,
I
or
think it would definitely. I think it would definitely work in the RuneScape engine if we wanted to do that. But
Mhm.
like, or I want to do that. But I think yeah, we're talking third or first person like RPG, so either Skyrim or Witcher based,
Oh
with like inventory and skills and all that stuff. I would love to make that game.
yeah,
And
getting
of course.
favorable reviews in my chat right now. So people are saying to give you a promotion and get that game made. So it seems popular already.
Yeah. Just imagine going to the God Wars and seeing like gods around and the god armies. I can just imagine it in my head with like modern next gen graphics. It just feels really good.
Yeah, it sounds fun. I'd probably at least take a look at it, play it for that, stream it for at least a day.
Yeah.
Cool. So outside of like your normal job life and programming content for RuneScape 3, what do you do for fun?
Well, it's probably not a major surprise that I play a lot of games.
So you mentioned all the Paradox games. What do you play other than like kind of the grand world strategy games?
um, so I play a lot of RPGs. What I've been playing recently. I've been playing Hades.
Hades. I haven't
Um,
heard of that one. What is that one about?
that's like a roguelike RPG based on Greek mythology. Hades.
Yeah, I
Is that Greek?
think so. Hades sounds Greek. Yeah.
Yeah. You play the son of Hades, and you have to try and escape the underworld.
Oh wow.
And it's like a um and like you get different powers from different gods, and each run is slightly different, and you have to work your way up through the underworld, and go to Mount Olympus. I haven't actually beaten the game yet,
Oh okay.
but you go through different levels. Start in the underworld, and you go to like some sort of like molten level, and then blah, 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 above that. That game's really good. It's very incredible.
Check that one out.
Playing Borderlands 3. Been playing Overwatch. Been playing.
You play Counter-Strike, what's that? Counter-Strike Go?
No, I play Valorant instead.
Oh, Valheim. We found out a few weeks ago, like a lot of RuneScape players play CSGO. There's some sort of weird crossover going. Now I know Soup RS started up a league for that one.
Oh
So
wow, yeah.
I'm trying to get I'm not ranked enough to join him yet, but I'm trying to get into that one. But
I played a lot of Source back in the day. I
oh,
haven't played
okay,
much
yeah,
of
you're
Go.
like me. I've got hundreds of hours on Source, but I don't have any on Go,
Yes.
so I can't actually get into the ranked matches yet. Not that I'm very good
Yeah.
anymore either, because I played like years and years ago. Back when it was Source was actually called Counter Strike. It wasn't Source or 1.6 or
Yeah.
whatever. But
It was just regular Counter
it was
Strike.
just Counter Strike, yeah, at that point. But what you said, you mentioned Valheim. You were playing that one too.
Oh yeah, so yeah, me and a bunch of other JMods played Valheim. That was fun.
People have described that as
Uh,
Minecraft, like Minecraft and RuneScape had a baby, and it was Valheim.
Yeah, there's a lot of that. There's a lot of Terraria in it as well. If you play Terraria, because it has the same mechanics of like gearing up for a boss, and then you unlock a new tier of stuff,
Hmm.
like Terraria does.
Okay.
But yeah, yeah, it's amazing actually. It's really really good. Like yeah, it feels a lot like RuneScape because you do a lot of woodcutting and you have a woodcutting level. So
There you go. The only two games with a
that
woodcutting level.
yeah, it feels a lot like that because it has a lot of skills that are very similar to RuneScape. I think they all go to 99 as well, which
Oh,
I'm
really?
not sure if that's a coincidence or not.
Yeah, odd.
Yeah, I do enjoy seeing like skills go to 99 in other games, and I'm like, is that a reference? It's very hard to tell.
Yeah, I saw a new game today called Medieval Dynasty, and it looks a lot like Valheim, but the graphics look more like Deliverance. I can't think of the name of that game, Deliverance. But you're going around just like building your own medieval town, so I might have to check that one out. But it
Yeah,
looked kind
I've
of
seen that on my
RuneScapey
wish
as well.
list.
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw a different streamer play that when it came out a couple months ago, and I was like, yeah, maybe.
Looks like
It's
first
it
person
looks
RuneScape to me.
Yeah, it looks very early access, which is the thing, which is why I haven't looked into it yet. But it could be good. Yeah, just those games, like games like Valorant and Overwatch, and I used to play a lot of StarCraft too. Like they like just suck up all your time because
Yeah, those are big time sex, like World of Warcraft, StarCraft.
yeah,
You just
yeah,
kiss your
that's what
Thursdays
those games
goodbye, kiss
do.
your weeks goodbye. Yeah, it's like a full time job.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Those just eat your time. I mean, I'm playing a lot of RuneScape. Like obviously it's sort of semi-professional courtesy, but like I'm still playing. I'm still like maxed out on RuneScape and doing stuff in there. So
Oh, so you have an actual like non-player account that you've maxed out?
yeah. Like I told you, like I started in 2001, and I've just I reactivated that account in 2008, and then leveled it up, and I've been maxed for a good number of years now.
Oh, wow.
I don't have completion escape.
Are you
'Cause
actually
I never
Are you
really
actually Zezima? You're just not
Zezima,
telling.
yeah.
You're just not telling anybody.
That's my secret last name.
Timbo Zezima.
Yeah.
That's why he's never on camera, because then we would know it's Mod Timbo.
um, yeah. Obviously, I'm still playing a lot of RuneScape, and that sucks a lot of time as well. So, but I can play that while I'm working, so that's nice.
You don't get in trouble for playing that one at work.
No.
Yeah, I get in
It's
trouble for
encouraged.
playing
It's encouraged a
RuneScape.
little bit.
That's great. So, do you know if they're having when they're planning the next Rune Fest, or it's going to be anytime soon, or
I
are they
have
just
not
not even thinking
anything.
about it?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't think anyone knows what the world's gonna be like in October.
That's true.
Uh,
Yeah, I would
or
imagine you have
October,
to have a
November.
good like couple month lead in for planning and getting the logistics of that figured out too. So, like if it's
Yeah,
things are still unsettled by like June, you just can't have it.
yeah, that's the thing. I don't know. The events team usually are very secretive about it, even internally, until like summertime. So I don't really know where it's at actually.
Oh, you think they might have it somewhere other than London?
Maybe we had it in Farnborough last year. not last year, 2019.
2019, yeah.
It was in Farnborough. I personally would love it to be like, I'd love to have an America
Like Las
Dreamfest.
Vegas. Las Vegas. I'm sure that wouldn't
Yeah,
turn into debauchery,
yeah,
but I think it would be
yeah.
fun.
I'm sure sending 300 JMODs to Las Vegas will be fine.
They've got a hotel that's shaped like a castle. You should, as the Excalibur, just have it there. It's already themed for you. You're good to go.
Yeah, but I mean, if not, there's tons of like convention centers on the west and east coast.
Oh yeah,
East coast will be easier for us logistic wise.
yeah.
But,
It's only what's an 8-hour flight or 4-hour flight instead of a 12-hour flight.
yeah. So yeah, I would love that. That'd be incredible.
Yeah, that'd be great. Are you planning on taking any vacations yourself here coming up?
Yeah, so I'm going on vacation with my family at the end of like August, just as like a tester.
A tester
And I
vacation.
wouldn't.
You're just going
Yeah.
down to the next town over.
Well, yeah, we're staying in England and all
Okay.
that sort of stuff because we don't know what's going on. So I haven't planned anything with my friends or that. So, but yeah, my family's we're going on a vacation at the end of August, just to test the waters.
Test the waters. Dip your toe in the water. Make sure you don't get sick.
Yeah, I mean, we'll all be vaccinated by then, so it'll be nice because I've got one vaccine already.
Oh, you're
I'm
on
waiting for
your
my second dose.
way to being fully vaccinated. How
Yeah,
is that
yeah.
over there? Is it been pretty smooth sailing for getting your vaccinations here? That's like they can't give them out fast enough. It's like they're pretty much vaccinating babies at this point.
Yeah, it's been really good in the UK. I mean, it's different per region.
Mhm.
So I know that in Cambridge, around Cambridge in Cambridgeshire, like it's been ahead of schedule, which is why I was able to get a vaccine faster than my 60-plus-year-old mother. I got it literally the day before she did, even though she's like a higher priority.
Yeah.
So yeah, and it's been good in the UK, I think, in general, and then in my local area, it's been really good.
Oh, that's great.
But we have 3 months between the two doses.
Oh, 3 months. Yeah, I think it's only a month here, but then everybody gets like
Yeah.
super sick and wants to die for a day.
Yeah, so the UK,
maybe you need
I
to
think
wait
the
3
UK is
months.
the UK is the only, or England is the only place that's doing 3 months between the two doses. I'm not really sure, but yeah, everywhere else is 21 days.
Well, that's the top of the hour for us. I want to thank you so much for coming by and talking with us. And it was good catching up and talking with you again.
Okay. But yeah, it was a pleasure.